的 parent 更严格，但是它的结果是怎么样的？结果可能你不能 control。如果你 weaken 的话，我们就要看结果。post condition 呢，可能不是你想要的，因此，如果你 weaken it post condition，你要 strengthen it。如果我们的 precondition 呢，我们 strengthen it， 我们可以不用 care post condition， 它是在正确范围里面的。Got it? You understand that? So when you design, you need to think a lot of issue regarding that. So the parents said that you got to come home before 8 or before 10, but you wanted to reset it. That's until midnight. You know the results. So the post condition got to set up. Your parent will set a post condition, right? 我刚刚举的 example， 如果你的 parents 设了你回家晚上10点以前要回家 precondition， right？ 那 precondition 是这样的，你设得更严格，你给自己 OK， 我就8点，那没事儿，对不对？你8点回来，你 parents 说10点，那你8点回来，那这个 post condition， 你家里一片和乐，你知道吧 ？post condition 呢，也许就是说，你的 parent 他就是，我跟你说，你 post condition 他就会设一个，如果这个乖宝宝的话，就会给你很多的 reward 的 that。那你这样子的 precondition 就会影响这个 post condition，right？ 所以你每一次都是10点以前的，你知道吧？对不对？回来的话，你就会有很多的 reward， 可是不用看这个，你一定有。如果你的 precondition，right？ 你weekend， 你要你10点，你 midnight 回来呢，那可能被揍吧，那你喜欢揍呢，没办法的。被揍那或者是有什么样的 punishment， 那我们就要设定这个 post condition。好，那如果你这样子，下个月你就不要出去，类似这样子，设的严了 ，all right？ So here, that's OCL constraint. So your design, it's quite human. You need to think more about that. All right. So it's this. Okay, remember that I asked you some question that we care more than on precondition, right? If we don't have enough time, then we set precondition rather than postcondition, right? So we set precondition, and I like that the child, don't weaken that. If you weaken that, you need to have postcondition, right? To evaluate the result. 如果你的 precondition 呢，你 allow 这个 child 呢，你 weaken 他的话，你要设 post condition 去 make sure right， 他是 OK 的，所以这个 trick does. Okay, well, I suppose already talked about this, right? So we have invariants. Usually it's OCL, right? OCL is another programming language, right? It helps us to constrain, right? We have the keyword context. So you have a context and your class name, right? So here, meeting invariants always be true. Of course, cell means meeting, right? The object of the meeting. So the meeting, the time, and the time equals always greater than storage. So I'm not going to set it in a reverse way, right? And your invariance, so when you see that context, and then this is the name of the class, INV column, and then that's the constraint, right? So here we need to set gender, be the role moderator as female, right? You said it, or you said it's a male. So whatever in different situation, probably you need, moderator is female, and like that size, right? The number of participants should more equal than the number, right? So you set it, then the system should follow this invariance precondition before, right? So the meeting right here, double column, so it's a double column, then the method, conform precondition. So before, right? Before meeting, of course, we set it false, not conformed. And after that, of course, then that become true. Yeah, before it's false. And also, we might have more than one condition, right? So this one precondition need to meet two conditions, right? And so we haven't confirmed yet, and the of course you got to tell this shift. We go to 0 levels. Post condition, all right. So I suppose that if the PowerPoint, right, look at your PowerPoint, probably it's wrong, right? Because what TA gave you was wrong. It says start minus end, then that's wrong. It should be ends minus star. That's the result. The duration, right? So see how many hours? So it's ends minus star. And after that, it's true, right? Confirm it's true. So it's so this one. Who can explain the statement? So Jack is already explained this. Okay, so who can explain this? Richard, what is tournament? Okay, tell me that. Tell me the class name. Yeah, class name. How can you see class name?
Tournament control.
Tournament control
Oh.
is a class name,
Yes.
right? Okay, what is tournament? What about the example? Tell us.
The example. You mean the upper one or the lower one or both?
The first one. What is a tournament? Ian, what is tournament? It's just that Wednesday night evening. Yeah. So tournament, that's the competition. It's a game, right? Probably sports, and this is about sports, right? It's a competition, right? Game. So it might have soccer, right? Baseball, different kinds of sports. It's a tournament. So it's a tournament. So one team is enough or no? One team. So tournaments, how many teams? So one team, is it enough? No. No, of course not, right? It is two, right? So we have two, then can compete. Right, so tournament is a competition, right? Competition could be sports. Right? So here, two keywords. Sponsor and advertiser. What's the difference between a sponsor and advertiser? Yeah, good. Okay.
那个 sponsor 是赞助商吗？是吗？
Advertiser, and what about advertiser?
它是广告商。
Okay, do they have any connection?
就是一开始大家都是广告商，然后如果比如说这个比赛的某一个队伍，他决定要让哪一个广告商去赞助他们的话，他那个广告商就会成为赞助商。
Okay, yeah, so that's the connection, right? And right, and explain the first one. Yeah, the statements. Contest tournament control is play of a book. It's a precondition.
就是要解释那个 tournament control， 就是那个 P 的话是指说，就是我们原本比赛有限定的比赛人数，那如果
What is P?
P 就是超出我们比赛人数额外要报名的人
P.
P
Tell me P. What is P?
player，
Okay, all right, player. Right.
Yeah.
And
然后上面是在讲说我们要确定没有多余的人去参加比赛吗？
no.
不是吗？
No.
不是，不是哦。
Here, what is overbook?
超额，就是
So here, overbook.
Yeah.
Right. Then you can see P inside. So talk about the P.
Yeah.
So what does it mean about a
P
prayer? Right.
Yeah.
Prayer.
Hi.
So probably, no, it's Ethan as a prayer. So overbooked, Ethan. What does it mean?
确定。他报名2次吗？重复报名。
Right. Right.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
can it allowed?
No.
No. All right. So overbook, we talk about the P, right?
Yeah.
Right. So it isn't no. So it's a prayer overbook, right? Prayer. Then next line describe it.
Huh?
Describe it. So tournament control. Double column is a prayer above is a method, right? This is a method. No, we look at P each one, right? Precondition. Explain that. Not P dot tournaments, includes self tournament. What does it mean?
.就是如果你不是重复报名的，确认，就是如果你不是重复报名的，才可以执行。
So here, what does it mean? Include self dot tournament. Yes, and explain that. Not, right?
Oh.
Not. P dot tournaments include self tournaments.
就是
Yes, it's similar, similar to what you just described. So you will need to join, all right. You said that I wanted to be the prayer, right? Precondition. Precondition is, so, you wanted to add in, right? Precondition. What about precondition? Say it again.
没有重复报名的，才可以去报名，才可以加进去啊。
No, it's actually the same.
条件
What is that? Oh, well, actually it's not what is that. Joe, can you explain that? Yeah, that's. If you wanted to participate, right? So here, it says, can we check your name on the list? Yeah, you wanted to add in. So the precondition means here, you wanted to participate and you have a prayer list, right? That's the prayer list. That's your name. Yes or no? The prayer list. It's not a problem. It's similar to what you said, but not this. All right. Do we have your name? We have your name. Do you have your name you wanted to add in? Do we have your name? Yeah, no, all right. So when you said, you just said that will not accept, no. You add in twice, right? But that means it's already, all right? But here it said we don't have your name, so it's a little bit different, all right? 意思很接近，但是不完全一样的。就是这个 game 啊，这个 competition， 它是一个你可以加入的。All right，那当然你不能加入2次，可是这是第1次 ，right？ 没有你的名字才能让你加入，意思是这样。OK，of course, whenever you're in, you cannot. No, but here that's a book. Is prayer of a book? That's precondition. So here, if no, we don't have prayer, then you can add, right? Add in. So not he does German. So here we can see include the keyword. So it can refer to we have a keyword list, right? Include. So precondition we don't have you, right? Then you can add in. So this one pre we don't have, right? And Harry, can you explain this? Second precondition. It's not easy. Anyone can explain this? Raise your hand. So, Peg.
The precondition is if you want to select the sponsor, you need to have some interest advertisers.
Yeah. So here, that we know that there's a connection between advertiser and sponsor, right? So be a sponsor, then you are advertiser. So you might have a group of advertiser. They they wanted to donate or they wanted to sponsor, right? So here, when you select sponsor from advertiser, right? Precondition, of course, should have some interest advertiser. So you have a group of advertiser, but the advertiser will show their interest. I have interest, right? So put it in the interest list. And the sponsor, if this, it's quite hard, right? The tournament, right? Then you have a lot of interest sponsor. You can select from that. So that not empathy, right? If it's empathy, you don't have sponsor, right? Okay. This one, does anyone wanted to explain this? So we have explanation then to look at this, right? So here we have the class tournament control, right? A method select sponsor from advertiser. So here, precondition. What does it mean here? Corinne.
If you must ensure your sponsor is empathy and you can choose a secret sponsor.
Okay, so this is quite similar to what we said that if you wanted to join it, we don't have your name yet, right? So can only if we have your name, you cannot. So here, select sponsor only once to ensure that we invoke this. So we wanted to select sponsor from advertiser, right? So you gotta be sure that sponsor does empathy. So it's corresponding to that. And what about next, Corinne? This one.
If you choose the one sponsor and this one is the same as the advertisement.
Okay, all right. So here, tournament control. We wanted to select sponsor, right? Post condition, right? So pre and post, right? So precondition, post condition. So here, precondition. Well, we gotta make sure that we don't it's empathy and the post condition that's is equal. So sponsor equal advertiser, right? And so, okay, so. And the other things you can put that by yourself. Well, if we have time, we'll go back here. So here, based on our syllabus, next week it could be the last lecture, right? But I don't think we can finish that because when I review some issue, then it seems that you don't quite understand so bad. So I wanted to prolong. So extend 1 week. So remember that after your teamwork presentation, we still have 1 week. I said the blank is to be announced, right? So I would extend a week to turn in your teamwork because we cannot finish that by next week. So yes, previous the teamwork I said that you should turn in, right? You submitted on June the 1st, right? And the paper last June 3rd, right? And so I'm going to extend 1 week because we cannot finish that part. So I'm going to extend 1 week, all right? Because that's I need. So from June the 1st to June 8th, extend 1 week, all right? Then the written reports, and it to TA. That's on June 11th because June 10th is a Dragon Boat Festival. It's a holiday. It's a Tuesday. Okay. So it means that we still have 2 weeks to go. And the other message I wanted to announce is that the following 2 weeks, all right, I wanted to give you actual points. The actual points, well, I think TA will announce it next and the following week, 2 weeks. We intend to give you extra points. So after my lecture, right, we'll give you a quiz. You have a choice, to stay to take the quiz, or you just go away. It's extra points, right? 接下来2周，因为以目前的情况，我看到很多好像已经沉在水里头了 ，right? So I wanted to rescue 下2周下2周，you have a choice， 你自己选择。那我会把这个 responsibility 呢，这个就是让 TA 出简单的题来考你们。OK， 那个是 extra point， 那是加总分，你的学习总分。大概半小时左右，就是不要出太难，简单一点的因为他们出跟我出不一样，我出大概也一样撑下去so 我希望给你们 extra point， 上次那个也算一个 extra point， 总分可以加2到3分哦。上次也是依照你考试那如果你3次都拿了分数，你可以拿到6到9分，就是你51分。所以 you have a choice， 你自己决定要不要考 ，right？ 你要去跪拜 TA 出简单一点，right？ 不要出太简单，我看这个就是太简单，我就抓他们来打。So you have two opportunity， 你自己决定，因为我上课上到12点左右，要留下来。You take this extra points， 那不是你每次都可以拿到2到3分 ，right？That depends on. Alright. So, got it? That's you have a choice. You think that 你自己决定，你觉得说我已经死了啦，就是 so already wrong， 你已经溺死了，没救了，你知道吗？不要那么辛苦留下来，你知道吗？因为我的总分可能 If you think that's well, I still wanted to try. Still have time, to save yourself, right? Because you have teamwork, right? And I said that if you revise your midterm, not midterm, the first, teamwork, right? That's going to change your score. And you have final examination, but that could be hard. I think it's easy, but you think it's not that easy. So you have a final examination. You have the teamwork too, right? And still have opportunity. So okay. So now we go to chapter 9, data management layer design. All right. Let's look at the data. Right. So data is very important. Right. We need information. Right. So information is a meaningful data. Right. To you, if that is meaningful, then well, you precious that you need that information. Right. But so when we call this the data, well, general term, data manage, right? So how can we manage data, right? It means data should be managed, right? Because we need them. When we need them, we access them, we retrieve them for some purposes, right? So we need to manage that. Why we need to manage data? Right, so here, there is a lot of issue that we need to manage data, right, different way, right? So usually that's quite easy that we can have different kinds of data, right? So here it's going to see that this chapter is very important and also, not easy. It's difficult, all right? So after finish this chapter, then I hope that you are familiar with several object persistent formats. And yeah, object persistence, right? So why do we say that? Why not just say the data format, data persistence? Well, it's a jargon, right? So data persistence. So what does it mean, data persistence? We said something that's persistence, not transience, but persistence. What does it mean, data persistence? What is it, data persistent? Transient, it's a transient, persistent. Okay, in here, familiar with several, it says several formats, all right? So whenever it says object, right, this is similar to the concept of data, right, object. Right, so object, when we say object, right, and refer to the database, relational database, right? That's semi. When we say object, so what is object in the relational database? A table. What is object? Is the table. So anyone can answer this. Object and table. So relational database. Relational database, we have a lot of table. Then how can we see object inside the table? Can we see that? So If we introduce normalization, right? Yeah. Kind of. kind. So it's already right. Then it is. It's an object table. Can you see object inside table? Oh, why not? Today I'm going to ask the same question. So we're going to learn several kinds of formats, right? We said it's object persistence. So here persistence, not just transients, right? Persistent, it means we wanted to keep it a period of time. This is not just a buffer, no. We'll keep it for longer, right? So it's going to save it and access it for further use, right? So when we talk about the entity, right? So entity, somebody wanted to get the data, right? Because save it. If you save it without any outputs, that's wrong, right? So persistent wanted to keep it, right? Keep it somewhere. So different kinds of formats, right? For later use. Object persistence, and it's quite important that we know the object in the problem domain, right? So the situation, we have object, right? And we wanted to map the problem domain object. So for example, we have a couple of objects, right? And the code may be written by using, or Java or different kinds of, or NoSQL. You wanted to store it, I like to say store it in NoSQL, or the problem domains, and use different kinds of programming language. Then of course the data, right? We focus on data. You store it, store in different kinds. Probably, just file. It's a file processing. Or you save it, it's a relational database, SQL, like that. So data, right? So how to map it, right? Map it. You wanted to store this in a relational database. So I just said that you have the object, right? Problem domain object, you have a couple of objects, right? So a couple of objects. Customer, you have a customer class order, like the customer order. So you have a customer is a class, order is a class, right? Then you want to store that in a relational database. So what about an instance of the customer? What does it look like inside relational database? So that's the question. So what's the next? Bridget?
It may have the order date, and order ID, the customer ID, and the item that customer ordered, something like that in the relational database. By
Okay.
customer.
Well, I know. So here, you said the customers only order.
Yes.
So here, that's the relational database, right?
Yes.
Okay, and so, for example, here, is customer, here is a table,
Yes.
Alright, and I said an object. Tell me, what does it mean, an object?
An object.
Yeah.
Customer.
So here, that's a relational database, right? So we have problem domain, an object. So here, can you see an object?
The customer got their ID and their name.
How many objects can you see?
One customer, the second order, and also the payment type.
Is that 3 objects? Is that 3 objects?
Yes. To me, yes.
Leo. Yeah, we said that's, can you see an object of customer? You didn't answer my question. Do you want to understand my question? You got it? No, of course not. Mental,
I think two object,
2 objects?
customer and order.
Customer is not an object. Kevin?
Maybe 9.
Yeah. It's a 9 object. Okay. So what do we see? An object is
Object is the column in the customer.
column.
It's column 就是一行
A row.
yes a row.
Okay.
Or
A row. Right. So yeah, we can see a row. Row is a record. You gotta say a record. You can say a row. No. You understand? A record. A record is an object, an instance. So we have 9 objects, 9 instances. We can see that's customer, right? So object. I wanted to map that. So the object, right? So we know that, yeah, we need to have it's a class, customer. So we have a table, right? And yes, there's different formats, different object processing formats. All right, before we manage data, that means data need to be managed. All right. So before database, we said database, then we manage data. Okay, usually you're going to see, so here, susceptible issue included in this. What does it mean? Is this relational database? Is this a table of relational database? Harry?
I think it's a table. It's a table of database
Relation-
relationship. Yeah.
No. Can you see that? It's a file. File is different from table. Looks like table, right? But it is a file. What is a file?
It's a data in the each
It's what?
columns. How
Here. Okay. We don't manage that. All right. It's a file. So this file, we call it, it's a custom order file. So now we have a couple record. You said it's record, right? So it's going to see that, well, now we wanted to know customer and its order, right? So, well, we think that we have the field, order number and dates, customer ID, last name, first name, and amounts, tax, total. So sum it up. And is the customer a prior customer, existing customer means that, and payment type, and probably no more, all right? So we have all this record and much more, all right? So this is a file. So file, we have all the, we can edit all. So now, presume that, so Harry, because file, it means that we enter the file. Now you can see lots of file, lots of record, right, in the file, because we don't manage that. If now we enter that, you enter 100, right, 100 record. So it's got a longer, right? Okay, because that's a screenshot, right? First in, right, and last out, like that. If you wanted to find a particular record,
Use the PK. That's
we don't have that. Not PK, right? This is not relational database, right? This is a file, all right? So you wanted to find one particular record without any program or system. How many runs that we can find a particular record? We have 100.
how many runs? Oh, you say
How
how
many
many
steps?
times we can find that?
Yeah, how many times? Yeah. If we have 100.
It's more like the binary search. That's
Then one can answer. If we have 100 piece of record, right? Because Ian. No. It's, and how many? 100. We only find a particular, right? We don't know where it is. Then how many runs? How many steps? Well, let us say how many runs, then we can find it. Right?
We can use binary search for 7 times to search it. the days.
Binary, but here no, binary you got to sort it out, right?
Yeah.
Before sort it out. No, we don't have any algorithm to do it. Plus one, no. Kevin,
From head to tail, maybe 1 or 100. Average maybe 50.
okay, then tell me that it says the best. What is the best? How many runs?
1.
One, all right. The worst,
100.
unlucky one, 100.
Yes.
So the best one would be first, all right?
Yes.
The worst, 100. All right. What's the best? It's going to. So the first and the last, all right, the best. It's averages. So I think that if we don't manage that, if we don't manage that, we need to search for one particular record. If you're lucky or not, right? So that's why we want to manage that. Like, well, we can use, I say without any, processing. You want to binary search, right? You got to sort it out and sort it and smaller, right? Or bigger than that, we can sort it out. But no. So here, that is the situation file processing. In addition to this, right? So to file processing, file is very easy to create. We use it even more than database. Right? Every day you can create file because file could be image, could be video, right? Soundtrack, or lots of kinds of data that is file, right? It's a file processing, right? And what's the drawback of file processing? So we see the file. What's the drawback? Compared to database management, what's the drawback?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Drawback. Drawback.
What's the drawback?
Disadvantages.
I know, but what things drawback?
That means that if we use file, that's the downside.
Okay, use files because if you want to buy, you search, you select one date， 其中一笔资料，那你需要经过那个比较多的步骤，繁
Yeah,
复
I
的
say
步
in
骤。
addition to that, we've already, so in addition to that, what about the other downside? So that's why we need to use database. Yeah, Harry?
For example, today you just want to cure the prior customer. You just want to choose the yes. The answer is yes. But today, if you don't use the database, you need to search. You
So
need to
all the-
choose. Yes, you need to choose. 你必须一笔一笔去抓。You should.
And now you got to think about that. You said you wanted to retrieve,
Yeah,
right? We retrieve, and now we use algorithm.
Yes.
Yeah. So if we have algorithm, file processing become very speedy,
Yes.
very efficient.
Yes.
So that's not a drawback.
It's not a drawback.
Yeah. It's very we can access this in a very quick way. So it's no problem. So file has a lot of virtue. I gotta say benefits. That's file. We can use file to store simple or very complex data. So that's why file is more popular than database. Right? Database cannot do that. And file is pretty good to access that. You have algorithm, right? We have program. We can access file. So it's very efficient. Well, we'll discuss this next week. It's run out of time. All right, so I'll see you next week. Anything you wanted to announce? No. Okay. So think about that. There's many interesting issues that's for chapter 8 and 9. So probably, the 7. Okay. Any questions? This is